Side-scrolling beat-em-ups are by their very nature repetitive, because for the most part all you do is walk from left to right punching people until they fall over. That's why so many side-scrolling beat-em-ups turn to extreme weirdness to keep players' attention. Whether it be weird characters, settings, or enemies, here are 7 side-scrolling beat-em-ups that let their freak flag fly. Enjoy! Pouli Roula is a 1991 arcade game that has to be seen to be believed on account of how it is totally bananas. The plot, such as it is, involves a bad man stealing a time key to disrupt the flow of time, which causes damage to various towns, which sounds bad, but doesn't really explain why the solution is to give a small boy a magic stick and make him go around hitting people with it until they turn into animals. You do get points for touching the dogs though, so that's something. Enemies include ventriloquist birds, luchadors with giant microwaves, and whatever the hell this is supposed to be. No idea. And you have to fight them with just the aforementioned magic stick and a special attack where you call in a bunch of dogs and monkeys and pigs and I think a platypus. Occasionally, just in case this wasn't all enough of a bizarre fever dream, you'll just come across things like real digitized pictures of people hanging off flagpoles or dashing screaming towards the screen. Or have to do most of a fight underneath a photo of a sumo wrestler's butt. Hang on, let me just... Yep, no, I'm definitely awake. Weird.
This is the end for you.
Oh no, he got me!
1991's Growl is a game with a simple message. Mess with animals and you're gonna get f***ed up. More specifically, you're gonna get f***ed up by your player character, one of a team of forest rangers who, after surviving this bold assassination attempt...
Drop dead, you scum!
Get away with this.
Grabs one of the 4 rocket launchers lying around on the floor of this bar and just goes absolutely buck wild on a series of poachers, animal abusers, and bad guys from Indiana Jones movies. Along the way, you'll find various animals being mistreated who you can free and who will then fight alongside you, such as this elephant who tramples your enemies, or this bird who just flies around going ham on everyone's face. And while you are out here helping animals, maybe go a little easy on the humans as well, my guy.
Please, spare my life, and I will give you anything you want.
Or not, whatever. Who's behind this all, you might be asking? And yes, as you probably guessed by now, it is indeed Billy the Puppet from the Saw movies with Wolverine claws for some reason. Oh, and it probably goes without saying, but also he's got a big worm in him who was controlling the evil hunters all along. Yeah.
What the?
Still, hats off to the developers, it can be hard to get people interested in conservationism, unless you have shirtless Indiana Jones freeing illegally trapped birds with karate. Then I think you're good. Winners don't use drugs, proclaims the opening screen to 1993's Night Slashers, although having seen the game in action, it's entirely possible that game developers do. A horror-themed beat-em-up, Night Slashers is what you'd get if, instead of being scared of the monsters, the characters in a horror movie got so mad that they decided to single-handedly beat up every undead creature in existence. That's how you end up with the spectacle of your character suplexing Frankenstein, punching death in the face, and fighting this couple who seem nice. Special shout out to the bonus stages where you get to go bowling for zombies with a zombie, and play whack-a-mole with your foot and zombie heads coming out of the ground. Hope those weren't new shoes. Sonic Blast Man was originally an arcade game in which players could don boxing gloves and work out their toxic anger issues by breaking their hand against a mechanical punching pad. Inspired by the success of the arcade version, Sonic Blast Man developer Taito released a version for the SNES in 1992, which turned the game into a side-scrolling beat-em-up starring the titular Sonic Blast Man, a superhero whose superpower is that he is extremely good at punching.
Take that!
What makes Sonic Blast Man so weird, however, are the bonus stages. Based on the stages of the original arcade game, these see Sonic Blast Man using his incredible punching powers to help people in need or avert disaster. The scenarios involve a baby carriage rolling into a busy street, a problem Sonic Blast Man solves by demolishing a semi-truck with his bare hands.
Take that!
And a huge crab monster that emerges from the sea with only one weakness: punches.
Take that!
You can't just punch all your problems away, Sonic Blast Man. Like, what if a giant meteor, 1,000 times bigger than anything you could possibly punch, was hurtling towards Earth? What are you going to do then?
Take that!
I probably should have guessed.
This is the map that will guide us. To save the children, we must travel north. Here is our next target.
Three Dirty Dwarves is a 1996 beat-em-up for the Sega Saturn in which a group of genetically engineered child geniuses on a military base are so good at playing Dungeons and Dragons that their characters break through a dimensional portal into the real world. Arming themselves with weapons and armor from a sporting goods store, these three dirty dwarves head out to save their creators from the military by smashing their way through the hordes of fantasy monsters that followed them through the portal to the real world. What makes Three Dirty Dwarves interesting, apart from the wild premise, is that you are technically controlling all three dwarves at once and can switch between them on the fly depending on who is best suited for the situation at hand. Given that the situation at hand is usually beating the hell out of whatever is directly in front of you, however, there isn't really a wrong answer. While it's very weird, it's also inventive, with team-up attacks, baseball minigames, and some truly bizarre enemies, including an ogre who is absolutely swarming with dogs that he can throw at you. You don't get that in Streets of Rage. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is set in a distant future in which dinosaurs have returned and shirts don't do up properly, following what is possibly the most efficient setup in video game history. You and your chosen character must get to the bottom of why dinosaurs are turning violent and why human-dinosaur hybrids have started appearing across the city. And by get to the bottom of, I mean punch things until you find out it's a mad scientist. I say punch things, really plenty of what you journey around the world punching in this game are various kinds of dinosaurs who must be pretty confused to have been made extinct, only to come back and find themselves being wailed on by a group of tight-clothed adventurers. Also occasionally you drive Cadillacs, hence the name. Also notable in this game is the continue screen. Fighting dinosaurs is a dangerous business, and as such you might sometimes find yourself running out of lives after being on the pointy end of a Triceratops horn one too many times. When this happens, you'll be greeted by the game's continue screen, in which the game's first boss, who you presumably killed a while ago, points a gun at your face and tells you how much you suck. You now have two options: let the time run out and get shot in the face, or insert another coin and smack this weirdo right in his smug syndrome from the Incredibles looking face. Money well spent. Capcom's 1989 arcade hit Final Fight could hardly be considered to be a realistic, down-to-earth game, including, as it does, a scene where you fight a sword-wielding samurai cosplayer inside a pro wrestling ring. It is, however, a model of realism and restraint when compared to its successor, Captain Commando, a side-scrolling beat-em-up in which you play as one of 4 members of a team of justice-hungry brawlers out to stop an alien invasion of superpowered criminals. The wackiness starts as soon as you're asked to select your character, with your choices consisting of Captain Commando himself, who is a pretty straightforward cyborg superhero, Ginzu, who is a ninja, Mac the Knife, who is a cool alien mummy, and Babyhead, who is a literal baby who has used his genius to build a mech suit that can beat people up. To save the planet, these characters have to travel through such recognizable city landmarks as a museum, a ninja house, a circus, and of course, an aquarium, before heading into space to face off against the leader of the bad guys, the incomparably named alien overlord, Scumocide, who, to be fair, is doing supervillainy right. Look at that pipe organ. Beat Scumocide and the world is saved, and a grateful world asks for Cap's name so they can thank him, at which point he answers with all the enthusiasm 1990s digitized speech could muster.
Captain Commando.
Okay, Captain, I'll leave you to it. You sound tired. So there you go, those were 7 deeply weird side-scrolling beat-em-ups that none of us questioned because it was probably the 1990s. Did we miss your favourite? Drop your suggestion in the comments, and for more videos like this, subscribe to Outside Xbox. Even better, hit the bell icon on the bottom right of the screen to get a notification when we've got a new video. Thanks for watching!